Hey Scorpios, and welcome to your February 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully a great reading for your month ahead. So how are you guys? Are you surviving? Are you getting past the crazy energy that came in for you in the previous month? I know just the entire end of 2016 and January of 2017 has been so chaotic. And difficult for a lot of you. You've really had to face so many truths. You've had to come to grips with not getting what you expected, whether that be materially or in a relationship. You know, a lot of you have had to cope from taking a leap of faith and kind of falling on your face. A lot of you are having to, heal from not getting what you felt was owed to you. I think you really let a lot of people off the hook recently for their transgressions against you, and with an expectation that they would be a good person to you, with the expectation that you would get it back, like by investing in not going off on somebody or not being vengeful to somebody. You thought that you were doing a really high karmic thing, but at the same time you didn't feel like it was rewarded, or you were rewarded for that. And that's been a lot for you to face. Maybe you were in a relationship and there was an agreement between the two of you that you would just peacefully go your separate ways, and that to some extent you would still be there for one another. And then when you finally disconnected, that person blocked you and completely stabbed you in the back once they were finally disconnected. So a lot of you have had to heal from a situation like that. And I know, just coming from last month, you were struggling so much with closure, expecting maybe for that breakup that you had to go through, or expecting that the cheating and lies that you experienced in the past would be, gone to bat for, or that you would get closure and finally just know the truth of a situation. And, you didn't get that. You were just kind of left to face yourself. And that's been such a tumultuous experience for you guys. And it comes with a strong learning lesson, though, too, because once Scorpio as a zodiac sign gets too connected to expectation, or they get their, the scorpion claws sunk too deeply into anything, oftentimes you won't actually get it, Scorpio, because the universe doesn't respond well to such immovable energy, because the universe is fluid. It gives out fluid energy. So when you get your claws sunk into something and you can't really have any other outcome and stay sane, oftentimes the universe will force you to experience a different outcome than you were prepared for, because it's trying to teach you that this is a fluid experience. You're not God, Scorpio. You can't make other people's, especially actions or reactions, be something that is authentic to you, because that would require them to be inauthentic to themselves, which is something that you're really sensitive to, and you always want people to be authentic because you're really good at being authentic yourself, and you know that that's a vital part of your experience. But at the same time, you get really connected towards shaping a reality and reactions of other people that support you. And that's where it messes up, because at what price should other people support you, Scorpio? Should other people have to be inauthentic so that you can be comfortable? And that's the good question, isn't it? Because maybe you did that for them. Maybe you found yourself in a relationship where you were willing to sacrifice yourself for somebody else's well-being, and you thought that that would be mutual. Kind of the whole idea of unconditional love. I think a lot of you guys stepped into a place of unconditional love in the latter half of 2016, or all of 2016, really. And now, when things got real for you guys, that wasn't reflected, that wasn't mutual, even though you thought it was. It's like the person that you were with almost even voiced their affection to you more than you did them. But when it got real, they weren't there for you, and they completely backed out and blocked off their energy to yours. And that was just completely a catastrophic situation for you, Scorpio, because you had a lot lying there. You had a lot invested in that situation, and you had to completely change your life. A lot of Scorpios have had to completely change their life, their lifestyles. A lot of Scorpios have moved a lot and tried to get into new relationships, which has been a struggle for a lot of Scorpios, because Scorpios are more popular right now than they've been in a long time, more magnetic, more popular. But your philosophy and opinions towards relationships have completely changed. And there's been such a big shift within yourself. Along with changing the way that you relate to yourself and others, you're also your preferences are also being changed, and it's really hard to know exactly what it is that you want. A lot of you may be having a grass is greener on the other side type of complex where you're not just happy in the present, you know? Like you see yourself, oh, if I move, I'll be happy. If I get into a relationship with this person, I'll be happy. If this person gives me closure, I'll be happy. If this person talks to me, I'll be happy. If insert blank here, or if X variable situation happens, I'll be happy. And then it's like it happens to you, and you want to be back where you were when you were wishing for X variable thing to happen. It's a very unhappy type of energy, a very cluttered, scattered type of energy that you're having to cope with right now, Scorpios. And the universe may also be not sending in a lot of people right now that are deep connections. Maybe very superficial connections are coming in, but the universe wants you to see this about yourself. You've been able to distract yourself from this quality for a long time because you've always had other deep relationships that you could focus your energy on. Like you're always helping other people, or you're helping other people deal with their demons, you know, but when are you going to deal with your own demons, Scorpio? It's like they're there and you keep trying to find X situation, X variables so that you don't have to face them. And it's not that these things don't make you happy, they do, but you can't be happy as long as you're in this situation that you're in right now. And it's really sad because you're getting a lot of things that you've always wanted, a lot of things that would make you really happy if you could just face yourself. And it's like you won't always be in a place, Scorpio, where you have the ability to manifest as much as you do right now, and you're getting all of this new abundance. You're getting like these new jobs, this new income source, new relationships that are actually a lot stronger than you realize. They could just be platonic friendship relationships or even work relationships or something. There's not a lot happening in the extremely romantic sphere. You're feeling really depleted, like you can't take on something like that, which is understandable. But it's sad to see, Scorpio, that you're getting in so much new, great, benevolent energy and you can't even be happy with it because of that one thing that happened so long ago now. You won't let yourself be happy, and we need to figure out how we can face that, Scorpio. So let's get straight into the brunt of this reading and look at this week by week. So in the first week, you guys have the Ace of Swords reversed over the King of Pentacles. You are getting a new logical kind of awakening to the way someone was to you in the past. You're kind of scared to get this, though. It seems like a relationship that you held very dear to your heart, even if it's over now, and that you always were really nostalgic about. It's like that's changing a little bit, and you're starting to see someone for the actual menace that they were. With the Ace of Swords reversed, that's kind of manipulative. That's kind of a mind game type of archetype, rooted down by the King of Pentacles. That says to me it could be an Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. And I feel like it's someone that you were in a relationship with. And this person had both traits of King of Pentacles and King of Swords. So very materially focused, very surrounded by materially focused energy, but at the same time, very logical, very harsh, very cutting. Not a lot of emotional understanding from this person. Even if they were prone to emotional outbursts, they don't think or function in the emotional realm, which is why you got caught up in this horrible situation. Because if a Scorpio doesn't have people in their life who they're deeply connected with, who have a strong emotional compass, and they get very attached to these people, it's going to be a constant cycle of suffering because Scorpio has to have emotionally understanding people. Now, you guys can also be very materially concerned and very logical, very mentally endowed. So you're attracted to people like that because you're not so emotional on the everyday level. A lot of people might not guess you to be a water sign right off the bat because you get to know people before you just spiel off about your problems. So that's why you attract in these King of Pentacles, King of Swords types of energies, Scorpio, because you are on the outside more materially and logically concerned than emotionally concerned, but that's not actually the case at all, you know? So it seems like you were in this relationship from quite a while back that went so bad with this person who had no emotional compass, and you got along so well with each other on sort of a mundane level, but deep down it was so incompatible that it's broken you now, and now your emotional compass is a little bit broken, Scorpio. And luckily you do have some energy coming in to help heal that. But you are a little bit broken right now, and it's time to push through, and it's time to manifest in a way that you can shift upwards, okay? Unrelated to relationships, Scorpio, in the first week of February, you're going to need to think a little bit more clearly about the way you're spending your money and the way that your resources are, what your resources are to you. You're going to need to think more clearly about that in February in general. It seems like you might have been doing a little bit of emotional spending, or just not really taking on as much work as you could because you've been struggling to get past this pain. And now it's time to turn this Ace of Swords right side up, because you could so easily create a very, very strong, stable financial material situation for yourself, Scorpio, if you just think clearly and don't become so prone to emotional outbursts. And when you get emotional outbursts, then you're like not cooking for yourself. You're not paying your bills on time because you just forget, and you're putting money like that you saved for so long into things that only, again, distract you. Variables, grass is greener on the other side type of stuff. It's time to snap out of that, Scorpios, and get it together on your finances a little bit. It's a small amount of budgeting and thinking clearly without emotions towards your finances and material well-being will send you a long way in February. In the second week, you guys are kind of asked to employ a little bit of, again, kind of a similar issue as in the first week. You're asked to employ a bit of logical thinking to your emotions. There's something about like being extremely emotional, or some kind of new shift emotionally that you've been going through, and embracing that so wholeheartedly is kind of putting you in a not so great place right now, because you have the Ace of Cups reversed, rooted down by the King of Swords. It's kind of saying that you can make your emotional situation a little bit better by just being a little bit more even-tempered, a little bit more like turning down the emotional receptivity a little bit. Maybe it's asking you to not take on other people's burdens so much, to sit with your own for now and wait until you fix them before you're giving people a lot of advice. That's probably a good message that's coming forward. I will say it's pretty interesting that you guys have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups right next to each other. They're both reversed. It almost suggests to me that you guys are not really embracing a new beginning. There's something that has very much ended in your life, like a relationship or a way of being or a move. Like there's like a place in your past, whether it be a relationship or a physical place, that you're really struggling to let go of. Because this new energy that's coming in, which is actually really good. I mean, aces, cups, swords, regardless, are very blessed energy. But they're reversed, so it's like you're resisting them a little bit because you feel like you've not had culmination, you've not had closure to a specific situation. And it's like you won't let yourself be happy, and you won't let yourself start over because you've not finished it the way that you wanted it finished. And it's important to disconnect just a little bit, Scorpio. You can't force it at all, that's for sure. It's not a good time in February, Scorpios, to try to force closure with anybody. I would not be in contact with old people from your past if you're like the one reaching out. Now, there is closure energy, that's not to say, because it's a waning time period. We're coming towards the end of the astrological year, and closure is natural. But I talked about this, I think, in Libra's video, where there's a difference between receiving closure and seeking closure. Now's not a time to seek closure. It's one thing if it happens naturally and someone comes to you, it's very supported. But trying to make it happen and trying to inspire other people to give you closure is a very tumultuous thing to do right now. Very risky, very like something that could really make you a lot less happy than you are and take away some of the benevolence, because If you're kind of seeking closure, you're choosing to deny the Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups energy. You're choosing to look to the past and to think about discord of the past and to try to explain discord of the past, of things that were so far running and had so much energy attached to them. The universe is asking you to start over, but if you're seeking closure, you can't start over. So you've got to embrace disconnecting and detaching a little bit, because it may come to you naturally. That's great. That's the energy compiling together and leaving your life. But if you're seeking it out, it almost seems like you're more interested in the emotional high of being with this person again or communicating with this person versus actually getting closure, which may lead you to wanting more than just that. You may not just want closure, Scorpio. You've got to be honest with yourself. Like, do you actually want more than that? Are you hoping that by talking to this person, you'll somehow inspire them to talk to you more and you can rebuild a relationship? That's possible. I think that that happens to some people, but I don't think that it's a good time for you right now. I think that there's a lot to learn in February and March for Scorpio, for sure, for everyone. And give it till April at least. Like, I feel like there's going to be a huge shift for everybody come late March and into April and even May, where you're going to be a lot more aware of what you need, a lot more aware of what's actually good for you. And if you feel that you need to seek closure, then it'll be a lot more supported. But right now it's not supported at all, because you're still, your central theme is the Tower. A lot of you will not heed my advice and try to seek closure anyway. And that's your decision. Like, again, I'm not trying to tell you what to not do and what to do. But a lot of you will still find yourself in the situation of the Tower, because it's the central archetype in general for February. Okay. And moving on to the third week of February, you have the Three of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Hierophant. This has to do with feeling alone, feeling like you're waiting on something. Again, maybe waiting for communication from somebody about closure, about understanding somebody else's perspective. And it's like you felt like a really great person. It was really stroking your ego for a while to be waiting and to be allowing other people to choose rather than you choose when you kind of have that exchange of closure. But again, it's becoming old to you. It's starting to feel like you're just withering away, and while other people have fun, and while other people get into relationships, and you are just kind of left in solitude. And it was nice at first, but now it's starting to get a little bit old. And the message about that is, Scorpio, this is necessary. You're having a lot of major awakening happening right now from the universe. It's rooted down by the Hierophant. That's your only other major arcana card other than the Tower. So it says that you're being guided by the universe right now, even if it seems like there is no connection, because the Three of Wands reverse could struggle feeling connected to anything that's bigger than yourself, whether that be positive or negative. It also says that there is a key in being alone. There is a kind of a key that will unlock a door or unlock a mystery or solve a mystery by waiting, by kind of sitting in the shadows for now, at least in February. I think that this is going to change like really quickly in March and April. But there is something very supported, Scorpio, about just kind of embracing the darkness a little bit and taking time to heal, because that's where Scorpio heals. Scorpio heals in the darkness. It heals in the shadows, and it changes. You see, you're in this phase of like burning and becoming ash, Scorpio. You've not yet risen from the ashes, so nobody is going to take time out for you. Everyone thinks you're dead, basically, right now, energetically. No one wants to invest in you. No one wants to, prioritize you, because they kind of feel like you're a lost cause right now, because you're in this phase, Scorpio, of burning, of the Phoenix cycle. You're burning and turning into ash, so like you don't contribute anything right now energetically. So people, like other signs, if they were in the same place, like people would just be like, oh, there's nothing they can contribute, let's not pay attention to them, they're not the same person at least, and I don't have time for them, which is hurtful to you, Scorpio, I know, but it's a part of your experience here, and you just have to get accustomed to it. The quicker you can accept that this is just part of the deal as a Scorpio, the easier it'll be on you, because there is so much insight to be found in these periods, Scorpio, where you're burning and becoming ash, like seeing how the world functions, seeing what people do. And this is when you see people's true nature, is when you're in states like this, Scorpio. And a lot of other zodiac signs don't see other people's true nature, period. So, it's kind of a rude awakening a lot of the time to see people who you thought were on your side suddenly go against you and betray you, but it's part of your experience, and you just can't betray yourself. You've got to hold true to who you are and not join in the people who are betraying you, because it takes every ounce of your soul, of your gumption, to rise from these ashes. And you're about to have to do it, I think, probably in March would be my best guess, will be when the rising starts. And I think that you guys are going to be flying high again by April, May, surely through the summer, because the summer is going to mark a huge time for you guys. It's going to have kind of commemorate something for you. And I don't want to get specific about that yet because I have not looked that far specifically, but just intuitively, the summer is going to be a commemoration and a rewarding time for Scorpios, I believe. So yeah, just keep an eye out for the things that start to click into place when you're waiting, when you're not having so much interaction with other people. Again, like, you're getting keys to the universe, keys to life that a lot of signs don't even get the opportunity to see because they have so much chatter. They have so many other people relying on them. And Scorpio's part of it, Scorpio, is to be alone and to experience this. So enjoy the perks of it. There are perks. That's the message. There are perks to this difficult situation that you're in right now. Okay, so the fourth week is the Knight of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by the Five of Wands reversed. If natural closure is a part of the game for Scorpios right now, I think it would be happening in the fourth week, because this is kind of an immature energy coming in an immature way. There could be someone from your past. This could be that relationship that went so bad, just coming in very casually and coming in a very immature type of way. Like, hey, what's up? You want to go out for a drink? Let's talk. Or, hey, do you remember that one video that we watched that one time? I was just curious if you still had the link to that. Or, hey, do you remember what that one song is called? I'm just curious. It's that type of thing. Like this person who was like really ugly to you and like blocked you or gave you a really difficult time, and they just casually come in and you're like, oh my God. If you're going to come in, why aren't you trying to talk about the more serious things, the more Scorpio things, the more the life or death issues? That's what needs to be talked about, not what the name to this song is or whatever. So, and that could cause a confrontation or a conflict. But again, you've got to hold back, Scorpios. Like the Five of Wands reversed was in your reading last month, and it was like the very first card, and now it's the very last card. So there's something very rewarding about keeping this streak going of you holding back, of you being passive, of you not being so prone to bite other people's heads off. It's not a good time. And I think that a lot of astrologers would agree on this right now, that it's not a good time for Scorpios to be accessing that part of their nature where they tell people how it is, regardless of the situation, or they kind of step into their ego place, even if what you're saying is right or correct. That's not always what's important, It's great that you're right. It's great that you're correct. It's great that you know how things are, but other people may not have the same experience. And even if they're like technically wrong, they've come to that conclusion for some reason, and it may not be your place, Scorpio, to like fix that. There's a major energy of Scorpios wanting to fix people and wanting to kind of make people the way that they should be, and like should be in quotation marks, or like not liking the way other people are acting, so confronting them about it in an aims to change the way that they act. Like, oh my God, Scorpios, this is why you're here in the first place. This is why you are so miserable, because you try to change people. And, you will. And a lot of times you're successful and people have like a major soul awakening moment, yada, 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 where they finally see the light and they completely change as a person. Not now, though. Not in the last year. Not since Saturn was in your sign. It backfires now, Scorpio, when you do that. With the Tower as your central theme and having gone through what you've been through, you're not at a place. Okay, yeah, I just got major chills. The message is, Scorpios, you are not at a place where you have the right to tell other people how they should be. And I'm being a little bit stern right now. I don't mean to come off rudely at all, Scorpios. It's just because, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm kind of... I can be mean to Scorpios since I'm a Scorpio, or not mean, but I can be more... like hold you to your ways, Scorpio, because I'm a Scorpio. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, so don't hold it against me. But Scorpios, due to the way that you were probably like a year ago, a year and a half ago, some point in time during 2016, the universe does not feel that you should have the right to tell other people how things should be right now. You did not properly, you weren't the way that you should have been, Scorpios, in the past. Now you've gotten so much better, and you had a major wake up call, like, mid 2016, late 2016, and you are a different person. That's worth so much too. Like, people don't realize how much you've changed. But it's not been for long enough because you've been alone for so long and you've had to deal with all that. So, it's not. I think that the universe will challenge you a little bit by putting new relationships there to see if you still keep this humble part of you that you finally developed and put into place. Yeah, being humble is a good thing right now, Scorpio. Being open to new experiences, maybe even listening to other people's rants about how people should be instead of playing up your own opinion, because there's something that needs to be a little bit worked on, Scorpios. There's something that needs to be kind of broken down, and I see a lot of you doing this really well. With the Tower as your central theme, the Tower has been such an integral part of the Scorpio experience in like the last 6 months, that I actually feel like what you're doing, or what you need to do, is you need to embrace this destructive, chaotic, catastrophic energy. You need to allow yourself to break. You need to allow these old, worn out habits, like, the whole the egotist way of talking about how other people should be, and if they're not that way, then, watch out type of energy. That's got to break, Scorpios. That's the thing of the past for you. It will never work the way that it did at one point in time, because people used to really respect you. People used to really respect the things that you had to say, and they used to really look up to you for counsel. But the way that you were, and you were kind of, I think some Scorpios were hypocrites at one point in time, or didn't quite live up to the standards that they set for other people. So yeah, you kind of got put through a situation where you burned and became ashes, and now you're starting to rise from those ashes, and you are a changed person, but it's not yet time to start reverting back. That's the whole point of the cycle. You can't just revert back whenever you want. But yeah, rather than allowing the Tower to break down all of these new cycles that are starting, like the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, like getting new logical ideas about finances, stepping into a new emotional, more soft, more gentle phase. Don't allow the Tower to break that. Allow the Tower to break the way that you used to be. Whether it just be that you were too reliant on other people, that could have been, or that you were too harsh on other people. And again, like, it's not all your fault, Scorpio. Like, don't think for a second that people haven't been harsh on you. Like, you got it from somewhere. You know what I mean? If people hadn't been that way to you all your life, you wouldn't be that way to other people. But that's not the point of this reading, because we can't change the past. I don't like dwelling too much on the past as a reader. I like talking about what it has to offer, but just talking about the fact that you're hurt or that you went through it, like, I try to have that good bedside manner, but at the same time, there comes a point where we have to step into the present, and we have to move forward and honor the past, because it is sacred. But you're not honoring the past when you're still grieving after it's been so long, like, you might be kind of addicted to a grieving process or a bereavement, and it is good to do that. Like, I'm all for grieving and bereavement, in reaction to a situation. It's necessary. That can't be repressed. Otherwise, you're opening yourself up to a major difficult healing crisis. But, there comes a point where you're kind of grieving to just wallow in the depths so that you can then go and have like a manic attack, and you like drive around and are really happy and excited, and it seems like you have to wallow in the depths just to be happy, to experience the opposite side of that. It's got to get a little bit more consistent, Scorpios. It's got to become a little bit more normalized, okay? And a lot of you have such a beautiful environment to do that in. The Hierophant is here to guide you through that this process, because this is a painful process, Scorpios. I'm not taking any of that away from you. Even when you were being a little bit of a bad person, a little bit hypocritical, you were still being put through the ringer by other people, and people were still wholeheartedly taking advantage of you. So don't forget that, and I'm not trying to deny any of that, but you weren't a saint either. That's all that I'm trying to say. But other people were really gross too. So it's understandable why you were so compelled to sink to their level. But the fact is you did sink to their level at one point in time, and now you're kind of facing those consequences. And they are too, in a different way, because unless they were a Scorpio too, then they may be experiencing it in a little bit of a different way. It may still be a while before they fully understand or experience it. Be thankful that you got to go through it so quickly. Some people have to face their karma like years and years and years later, and it's like comes with so much more time to face it. Like, be thankful that you can just do it so quickly, Scorpio. Like, you've fallen into the depths for sure, but you are at least facing it now rather than trying to distract yourself. And you may have even been trying, like I said, kind of filling in the blanks of your life and like really trying to strive for these things. But the universe was on your side. You have the Hierophant, which can kind of be a wounded healing archetype where it's just not giving you that right now. And it's like, no, you're a Scorpio. You've got to face it. Pain is a part of your experience. Turn it into something beautiful. That's what you have to do as a Scorpio. And again, that comes with perks too. It's like you get the best insurance benefits for being in this place, Scorpio. Like, you work for the best paying corporation in the zodiac, and it comes with the best benefits. So do keep that in mind. And I think with that, and on that note, Scorpios, I am going to kind of end it a little bit here, just to wrap everything up, because it was kind of a scattered reading. Use the Tower destructive catastrophic energy to destroy the parts of you which no longer serve. Not to destroy these new beautiful things that are coming in, but to destroy the old things which have worn out their purpose. It's time to find new purpose, Scorpios. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for you guys. I hope that this reading has been really great for you guys. I do have an Instagram now that you can follow me on. It's linked below in the description box, where I'll be doing daily draws and posting other spiritually themed posts. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would so appreciate it. I'm so thankful to all the Scorpios who've reached out to me. Last month was amazing for you guys, and I'm so happy that it's been resonating so much. You can also book a private reading with me. It should be popping up on the screen right now. It's the link right in the center, and you can click on it, and it will take you straight to the page where you can do so, which I think is convenient. So again, like this video, comment. I love to interact with you guys, and I will be seeing you in March. Just keep it sturdy, Scorpios. I'm rooting for you. It's hard. It's tough, but this is where you find what you're made of. So just keep strong. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.